How's it going, car people? It's Lucas here back with another video, and today I have another special video for you, once again with post-commentary. Today, we will be taking a look at the BMW World and the BMW Museum, both located near the Olympia Park in Munich, Germany. In fact, the World and the Museum are both right across the street from each other, which means you can visit both in one day, and for some reason a semi-truck always likes to pass by whenever I'm filming. That's very nice. Also near the museum is the BMW factory, where the cars, mainly BMW 3 Series, are produced. I even got to see the inside of the factory itself, which was very interesting, but I don't have any footage from inside as photography and videography is not allowed in there. It's unfortunate, but understandable. Regardless, let's check out the BMW World. Hashtag next generation. Here is most of what was on the bottom floor of the BMW World. It consists of mostly BMW M cars. Here's an M3 with an M4, and an M5, and an M8, and an M760i, and an M135i Performance, and a BMW Vision M Next. That's pretty awesome. Here's a BMW iX3 that I got to sit inside of. Little fact, normally most of the cars in the BMW World are open for everyone to sit inside of, but currently they're not doing that because of COVID, so you have to ask specifically to sit inside one of the cars, and also sanitize your hands before doing so. Here's a BMW i3 which I also sat inside of, and one floor above, there was another i3, which had a smartphone connected to it from which you could briefly turn on the hazard lights, headlights, fold the side mirrors in and out, and even sound the horn. Yeah, it was amusing to say the least. Alongside all of that is this BMW iZeta. Fun fact about this particular one is that it was actually converted to fully electric and occasionally gets driven around the BMW World. Sounds pretty cool. Not only were there BMWs in the BMW World, but there was also a Rolls-Royce Phantom and a Rolls-Royce Wraith. I even got the permission to have a closer look at the Wraith. I couldn't sit inside it, but just a close-up look was good enough for me. Also, this particular one is right-hand drive, and even has the Starlight headliner, which was so cool to look at. Next up, let's take a look at the Mini section, which includes just the regular Mini, there's also a Mini Countryman in the background, a Mini John Cooper Works, the new electric Mini Cooper SE, and the classic Mini all the way in the back. It also is right-hand drive, because the earlier ones weren't available in left-hand drive configuration. Next we have a bunch of BMW motorcycles, which you were allowed to sit on without having to ask for permission beforehand, which I did really take advantage of. I also saw this quote right here. "Life is not a highway, it's a road made of intersections, peaks, dips, and turns created by nobody else but you." Which is more than true. Oh, that rhymes. Last but not least, here are a handful of BMWs that are already purchased, registered, and waiting for pickup from their new owners, alongside a BMW Motorsports car. Very cool. You might have also noticed throughout the video that it was very empty, and in fact it was, but more on that later. We're done with the BMW World. Let's move on to the BMW Museum. To start things off, we have the famous four-cylinder building, which is awesome to look at. Here it is from another angle. And this is the first thing you see when entering the museum. Nice. Here's a room with these things of which I don't know their names that occasionally form some BMW models, which is nice to watch. Here we have some BMW motorcycles up on display, and some ultra-classic models which look crazy in person. Oh yeah, there are some Formula 1 cars here too. And some engines. Check out this view. We have the BMW we saw at the entrance on the top level. One level below is an 850 CSI with a custom wrap, and the level below we'll take a better look at in a little. Here are some 1970s BMWs, and the evolution of the BMW 3 Series, including its predecessor. We're just missing the F30 and the G20. We have the evolution of BMW badging, a BMW 700, a clay model of the G20 BMW 3 Series, this screen which you could control with the same buttons and dial that you'd use for a regular BMW iDrive system, which was very amusing, just like sounding the horn on that i3 via smartphone. Okay, now it's time to look at the bottom floor in the main hallway of the BMW Museum. It contains some 1930s BMWs, like this 315/1, this 328, and this 3/15 PS, this 1956 BMW 507, and some BMW Z cars like the Z1, the Z3, and the fastest and most expensive of the bunch, the Z8. Here we have a BMW 2002 Ti, an early Isetta, a 327/28, and a room with a bunch of BMW M cars. We have an M Roadster, an M3 CSL, an E30 M3, an M5, an M635 CSI, and an M1, the only M1 that has ever existed, because today we have the M135i or M140i. Ooh, what do we have here? Some BMW Motorsport race cars. Very nice. Ooh, do they sound good or what? Yeah, there are screens in there that show BMW Motorsport races, and sensors in there that briefly let you listen to the sound of the cars. Cool. Oh, hello again, Isetta. There's another one. This time, one of the later models. There's this BMW model of which I don't know the name because I didn't look at it and I didn't even know it existed until I saw it in the museum. Now we have some BMW concept cars at the very top floor of the museum, including another i3 and also an i8. And that is pretty much everything in the museum. These are the last 3 cars that we will see, because they are right next to the exit, which means that our visit to the BMW Museum has come to an end. But that was so awesome! I saw so many cool cars in there. I think the next place to visit on our list is the Mercedes-Benz Museum, because Mercedes-Benz is my favorite car brand. BMW is my second favorite car brand, by the way. One day, I'll make it to Stuttgart to see the Mercedes-Benz Museum. Now before I close out the video, I want to say a few more things. The BMW World is free to enter, but the museum is not. But I would still highly recommend the museum because it was 100% worth checking out. I also mentioned before that the BMW World was very empty. Well, so was the museum. Probably mostly because of COVID, but I took severe advantage of the emptiness. Notice how most of my pictures have no other person in the background? If the museum was normally crowded, like say, before COVID, there would always be at least a few people in the background in every picture, supposedly. Not the case here. This goes to show that these visits were perfectly timed and that I got really lucky with the amount of people that were there at the same time as me. Lastly, I would like to say that car reviews are coming back very soon, because I filmed a few cars whilst I was in Munich, so stay tuned. And with that said, it's finally time to close out the video. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the BMW World and the BMW Museum. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.